Top 5 Health Habits by the Japanese Joe Rogan. That's something I'm going to talk about today, so stick around. Hi, my name is Atsuhiko Nakata, a 63-year-old biohacker based on Japanese natural health and the author of Live Wiser, Not Smarter. There is a famous YouTuber called Atsuhiko Nakata who I think is the Japanese Joe Rogan. Because so influential, he has about 4.4 million subscribers, and he used to be a comedian too. So he was in the famous comedy duo called Oriental Radio. Unlike Joe Rogan, he doesn't interview people. I mean, he does interview some people, but his usual style is giving lectures. So he has a channel called Atsuhiko Nakata's YouTube University, and he gives lectures on so many different kinds of topics. For example, about money and finance, about history or IT and AI, and politics. In fact, recently, many politicians wants to appear in his program before the election because he's so influential. That is another reason that I think he is similar to Joe Rogan. And one of the topics he deals with is health and longevity. He has dealt with this topic so many times. For example, he gave a lecture on the book Lifespan, David Sinclair's book. And he also gave a talk on Yu Suzuki's book, who is a Japanese health expert. I did talk about Yu Suzuki in this channel before too. So his style is he usually reads the book and he gives the book summary using the whiteboard, but he explains it in a very easy and entertaining fashion so that the people in general public understand. In fact, books are kind of difficult. So recently, many people don't read books, but he makes the book so entertaining and easy so that people can learn a lot by watching his videos. So his videos are so educational. I have watched many of his videos, and his lectures are one of the most entertaining lectures I have ever attended. And now he lives in Singapore, which is interesting too, because Dan Buettner selected Singapore to be one of the blue zones now. He calls it Blue Zone 2.0, the new Blue Zone. So he is familiar with health and longevity. In fact, in the last 3 to 4 years, he has done so much research on that topic because, he needs to prepare for his lectures. And he's tried different approaches. Like he's once tried OMAD diet, 1 meal a day, fasting, but he stopped. So there are many things that he tried but stopped. But there are 5 things he still keeps doing now. So today I'll share with you top 5 health habits he personally practices daily in Singapore. First, I'll share with you his 5th health habit, 4th health habit, and then 3rd health habit, then the 2nd health habit, and finally, his top health habit. So please watch the video until the end. Those of you who just discovered this video today, this is the Ikigai diet channel, which is a health and longevity channel. We usually cover things like diet, exercise, mindset, and sometimes we cover Japanese blue zones because there are several blue zones in Japan other than Okinawa, and we cover from traditional Japanese health method to modern Japanese health trends such as chokatsu. So basically, this is the channel about how to increase health span for people over 50 or 60. So if you're interested, please subscribe to this channel. Thank you. Okay, so what are the top 5 health habits Atsuhiko Nakata personally practices daily in Singapore? The 5th health habit is conversation. In other words, communication. He values conversation tremendously, and he makes sure to create time to talk to his family members and his friends. So he said it's important to have a conversation with people you like. Someone you can enjoy the conversation. That is the key. So you don't want to talk to people that you cannot really enjoy talking to. So having a kind of a enjoyable conversation is the key. It kind of makes sense because it is Ikigai for most people. I mean, talking to your friends or talking to your family members is Ikigai to many people. It just gives you a juice, gives you motivation to keep going. So having this daily must be very important. And then the fourth habit is strolling. He said strolling, not walking, kind of leisurely, aimless walking is the key. So you don't want to make it exercise. You want to make it entertaining, like a fun activity. So he has a dog, so he walks his dog in the evening. In Singapore, it's very hot during the day, so most people walk either early in the morning or in the evening, and he chose to go walking in the evening. And he just walks around the neighborhood. He has his favorite route in his neighborhood, and he takes the same route every day. And about 30 minutes, not too long. He says 30 minutes is a good length. It's not too long, but it's not too short. It is long enough to make it an effective exercise, and it's short enough that you don't get bored. And also, it has a tremendous mindfulness power, he says. It stimulates his brain. It's just like having this time to be alone, just walk around in a relaxing manner, stimulates his mind tremendously, he said. It makes sense. I mean, I love walking. I mean, I think this mindfulness aspect is very important too. In fact, when I go jogging, I don't get the same sensation. So in some ways, I want to incorporate walking more often in my regimen. And once a week, he and his wife goes up to this hill called Bukit Timah Hill in Singapore, which is the highest peak in Singapore. And then it is a really more like hiking. So you have to sort of walk up the hill to get to the summit. But this is a more strenuous sort of exercise, and he does it once a week. And also he has a swimming pool and he swims there once a week too. So once a week he does more strenuous type of exercise, but every day he does this strolling. Now, the third health habit is eating right. He used to practice OMAD, but now he doesn't practice OMAD. He eats 2 meals a day. So he has a late breakfast and dinner. So I don't know what time he has breakfast, but he said he has a brunch. He has a brunch and dinner, but he finishes his dinner at 7 o'clock. So it's kind of similar to my schedule. I usually eat at 9 and I have 3 meals a day and I finish at 7. But in his case, between maybe, I don't know, 10 o'clock or 11 o'clock to 7 o'clock, he has 2 meals, which I think a good timing to eat. So he's not really skipping breakfast. Recently, many people don't practice intermittent fasting because of this high protein hype. Many people end up eating a lot because they want to meet their protein requirement. But now I think probably going back to this eating light is better because main problem is obesity. I mean, Atsuhiko Nakata says in Japan, diabetes is the most common disease. I mean, diabetes is the one disease that many people catch fast. And then once you become diabetic, then you start developing other diseases such as cancer. So what you need to focus on is to prevent you from developing diabetes. That means to lower your calorie intake. But if you want to increase your protein intake, you end up increasing your calorie intake too. So it's a kind of a trade-off situation. But he decided to choose restricting his calorie. But also, he's 42 years old too. So he's not over 60. His situation is slightly different. Okay, so now his second health habit is no drinking or smoking. He doesn't smoke, but he stopped drinking recently. And I think it's a good idea. Now, many experts say even small amount of alcohol doesn't give you any good. So if you can stop it completely, that is better. I mean, I still drinks on the weekend, but if I can stop it completely, this is probably better. So he does it. He doesn't drink at all now. Okay, so what is his number one health habit? Can you guess what it is? Please write your guess in the comment section below. Okay, so his best health habit is early to bed, early to rise. Yes. So he goes to bed around 9:30 p.m. and he gets up at 6 o'clock. So he sleeps about 8.5 hours. But he said this way he makes sure that he gets to sleep at least for 7 hours a day. That is critical. So in other words, he optimizes his sleep and he is living according to the circadian rhythm. That is makes sense. Me too. I have been optimizing sleeping throughout my life. I mean, not deliberately though, but I have been sleeping very well throughout my life. So this is one thing I have consistently continued throughout my life. All right. So to sum up, the fifth habit is conversation. Having conversation with people you like. The fourth habit is strolling. Third habit is eating light. The second habit is no drinking or smoking. And the first habit is early to bed, early to rise. He doesn't think this is optimal, but he thinks this is the most sustainable lifestyle he can manage at the moment. And in fact, the health and longevity isn't his top priority. I think his business is more important. I mean, he wants to make a successful YouTube channel and he needs to spend a lot of time reading. So he doesn't have enough time to do detailed, biohacking routine. So he thinks this is sustainable. One thing that he still continues now. He has tried most of the health and longevity hacks, but these five are the ones that he finally landed on. He says at least this way he can avoid the worst scenario. I mean, when he observes unhealthy people who, develop cancer and all the things at the end of the day, and these people often are heavy drinker and they don't often sleep well. So by taking care of those two areas, like, not drinking and sleeping well, he has achieved the majority of, the most important health practices. And I think he's doing well. He has conversation, he walks every day, he's eating right, and he's not drinking alcohol, and he's sleeping well. And I think he's doing sufficiently. It's much better than most people. So in many ways, it reminds me of this Japanese autophagy expert's daily routine, which wasn't special either, which wasn't like regular biohackers routine. For details, please watch my other video. This autophagy expert's routine will shock you. It's not what you expect. But this seems to be common in Japan, even in Kyotango. So I shared with you this 4 longevity secret announced at the Kyotango Longevity Summit, but their lifestyle wasn't as meticulous as the biohackers either. It was something rather simple, like for exercise, they walk, or they went Nordic walking, but that seemed to be part of Japanese culture. I think as a culture, we like to do things in moderation, not extreme. In the West, on the other hand, there are two extremes. One is extremely health conscious people. They watch their calorie and protein intake every single day, and every morning they do a cold plunge, and every night they take a sauna. And then for exercises, on Monday they do zone 2 training, on Tuesday they do HIIT, Wednesday they do strength training, Thursday they do Norwegian 4x4, Friday they do another strength training, and so on. And the other groups are people who don't do anything. They are on a processed food diet. They don't do any exercise, and they just spend whole day sitting on a chair or sitting on a couch watching TV and so on. I think this is happening part of sort of cultural phenomenon, because quite often the natural law is if you swing to one end as a reaction, you swing to the other end too. By becoming too health conscious, that is driving many people away from leading a healthy lifestyle, because many people think, oh, that's impossible. I can never do that. So I might as well, forget it, not do anything. And then people just give up. But if many people do it in moderation, such as, taking a walk, 20 to 30 minutes, easy walk, then many people feel, oh, I can do that. Maybe that's not too difficult. I might as well do it. Then more people will lead a healthy life in moderation. So as a community or as a sort of country or society, average health span will increase. But personally, I don't do things in moderation. I am more in a sort of extreme side. But my approach is 80% optimal. So it's somewhere it is kind of the sweet spot between doing optimal and not doing at all. So my approach is sufficient enough. And if you do that, you can increase your health span tremendously, yet it is doable. It's not too much. Also, I'm 63 years old, so that's the difference. Health is higher priority for me. I cannot afford to be mediocre. I need to do it right to make sure that I never get sick. For details, please read chapter 9, my 80% optimal biohacking routine in Live Wiser, Not Smarter. Okay, that's it for today. Thank you for watching. Again, my name is Atsuhiko Nakata, the author of Live Wiser, Not Smarter. If you like this video, please give me your thumb up and subscribe to my channel. And please leave your comment. What are your top 5 health habits? Please write your top 5 in the comment below. Okay, so I talked about autophagy expert health routine, but this is the video.